everybody. So welcome to episode 9 of your boys, Trash Talk with GGS. How was everybody's week, G? How was that week?
Week was good, man. Chilled out, did some things, made a spectacular cinematic moment out here. So for all of you tuned in, make sure you check us on that YouTube. We got something nice up there for you. Check the Facebook, check the Instagram. You know what I'm saying? We did the damn thing. Steven Spielberg, yo, we out here.
Yeah. You better watch it, James Cameron.
Yeah, we coming for all y'all heads.
Word. Smills, how was the week, baby?
I mean, typical shit. Today is laundry day, so it's kind of hectic. I was trying to get downstairs, but of course, it's one of those days when everybody is trying to do laundry at the same time. So I'm here with y'all.
Well, it is Sunday.
Usually, it's not like that, bro. Like usually, I guess because everybody be in church, it'd be like Justin.
Okay,
but it's popping today, man.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense. But yeah, man. So. Well, episode 9, we out here. Just like G said, you know, if you're watching the YouTube version, then you just saw the greatest goddamn opening of a podcast ever. I don't care what anybody says.
That's right.
We out here.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Just trying to create more content, trying to do more stuff. You know what I mean? Just trying to give more to the people. But yeah, man. So that's it on that. First up, I think that we should talk about this J. Cole album.
Oh, man, yo.
Because it's hitting on every level except the amount of tracks on it.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's purposely done. That's like kind of homage to old school to a degree. Because that's how albums used to be back in the day, like 12 joints or whatever. And then they started getting crazy with it, and you started getting those 20-track joints, and it was like, wow. Well, Chris Brown even went in and did 40-track joints.
Oh, yeah.
He got albums with 40 tracks, man.
Ain't no need for all of that.
I remember back in the day. You remember Crew from back in the day? Pronto and all of that, and Bubbling. Y'all remember?
Nah.
Y'all remember if you heard it. But they put an album out called, the name of the album was called The Dirty 30. And they literally put 30 tracks on it. A lot of filler and stupid little interludes. But they actually made the Dirty 30 tracks.
Wow.
But y'all know Crew, yo. And the joint they had with Slick Rick, the video and all that. You know Crew, if you heard it.
Got you. Well, so J. Cole's album is out and it is hitting pretty hard. That, like, the first voice that you hear, which took me by surprise, is Cameron.
Yeah. People would say, and I kind of agree to a degree, I wish Cam would have dropped the verse, man.
Yeah.
You thought that was coming.
Yeah.
And I was just watching Cam on Drink Champs too, man. I need more Cam in my life. I used to fuck with Cam.
Very entertaining, man. That dude's been hilarious since day one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
His freaking creativity as far as with wordplay and how he describes what he's talking about. Cam is the man, low key. He
really is.
I think the thing that happened with Cam is the Hollywood fame probably kind of got to him for a high second. And then that's when he had that slip moment where now, you know how it is in the game. Once you have that slip moment, it's hard to get back on track.
Yeah.
Cam made it cool to be flashy as hell.
Cam made it
cool to wear pink. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. After Cam, everybody had a salmon shirt on.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's all these salmon shirts out here?
Everybody except me. I still can't get with that.
Oh, yeah, nah, I never did it.
That's just not my color. It don't go with my complexion.
Yeah, I'm not out here trying to wear like pink fur and all of that. But I mean, if the right pair of J's had some pink in them.
Yeah, you could get something with like, of course, like a touch of it up in there. But he was blatant with it. That dude was driving. Didn't he have like a pink whip and all of that?
Yeah, he had a pink Lambo or like a purple Range Rover or something like that.
Was wild.
He went in on it.
But you know what? Nobody fucked with him because he had the crew.
Yeah,
and Cam is Cam. Like Cam is Cam, man. Like,
that's just his personality, how he get down.
Yeah,
I fuck with him. I don't fuck with the computers putin and all of that shit. All of that
Raise the
fucking
tag, slice your face, you're it. That was one of the most worst lines. Cam had bars,
Didn't he also
a couple
have
of them
a line
lines
where-
was like, yeah, come on, son.
Didn't he have a line where he was talking about he would piss in orange juice and have his uncle drink it and ask if it's tangy? Like, he said some crazy shit like that, son. I'm telling you, Cam was that dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
He's that dude for that.
I've never heard that bar.
Because he said some wild shit. Cam was Eminem before Eminem, son. As far as saying like that wild, outlandish shit. If you go back and listen to Cam's first album, son,
Yeah, he had a couple
dude
joints.
was
He used to
fucking
make me crack
crazy,
up like
son.
on
He
some
was crazy.
on some Humpty shit, yo. RP
Yo.
shot G, by the way.
Word.
But you remember Humpty Dance? He was just like, yeah, I called you fat. I'm
Yeah.
skinny. Like,
Yeah.
like, yo.
He wasn't always skinny. Cam lost weight because of that. What the hell did he have?
IBS.
IBS.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I like
Yeah,
that
do it to
song. That song off of Killer Season where he's talking about his IBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
That
do it
shit's
to you.
dope.
It will do it to you.
But yeah, so speaking of drink champs, I want to talk about real quick Fat Joe on Drink Champs, right? So Fat Joe says some shit that's kind of crazy to me. But he said that DJ Khaled is the Quincy Jones of this hip hop shit nowadays. I respect DJ Khaled for everything he's done, obviously, putting cats on, and you know, you can't really think about Rick Ross without thinking about DJ Khaled and all of that stuff. But he out here talking about he the Quincy Jones of this shit.
I can't give him that.
I don't know about that.
I don't understand. See, my thing with stuff like that is, so what is like, because from what I know, Quincy Jones was the dude that was kind of everybody wanted to work with him, always putting out hits. That's kind of what I'm trying to gather from that. So what is Dr. Dre? He's not dead. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not, like Dr. Dre still exists. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So what would you call Dr. Dre? What would you call Timbaland?
Right.
Timbaland's worked
that'd
with
be
so
the
many
first
people,
person.
even outside of hip hop.
That'd be the first person I would call the Quincy Jones of hip hop.
Yeah, like
Tim,
so.
like you said, Tim made hip hop records. Tim made R&B records. Tim got with Nelly Furtado and made them pop records.
Yeah.
Tim got with what's their name, One Republic, and made the alternative rock records. Tim produced Michael Jackson's posthumous album Escape. Tim produced the music, the whole for Empire, the first 2 seasons. All the music that was on that show, including the intro to the show, Tim produced that. He went in so many directions. So if there was any person I would call the Quincy Jones of hip hop, he would be that person.
And
For
see,
me,
that's why it seems like, I don't know, that sounds more like a case of just Fat Joe giving his boy his roses. That's all that sounds like.
That's what it is.
I don't think he truly believes that when there's other people you can mention that damn sure can make that claim of being the Quincy Jones of hip hop right now. I don't know.
And my thing about it is like, yeah, Khaled is cool, and he makes hit records. He bring people together on records. You know what I'm saying? Like, he brought Jay and Nas together on that shit, and that shit is a fucking smash. I get that. But my thing for Khaled is, if you want to compare him to Quincy Jones, and my biggest argument for that is Khaled doesn't make his own beats. Quincy Jones makes music from scratch.
And that's what I was just about to say. Call DJ Khaled the new Puffy.
Okay.
I can get with
You know
that.
what I'm saying? I
can get with
if you want
that.
to talk about like the production skills and all this, that, and the third, I can see him more so in that lane. But Quincy Jones is Quincy Jones. Let's not forget who that man is and what he represented. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't downplay that.
Nah.
You can't.
Like, when
Like,
you sit and
everybody
listen,
can't reach that status to be compared to him. That's like saying every dude, once he drops one season where he's averaging 20 points a game, oh my God, he's the next Michael Jordan. He's like, no. It doesn't go like that. You can't just compare everybody to the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's the thing, man. Like when you sit and listen to like Off the Wall, Michael Jackson's out. Quincy Jones made that music from scratch.
Wow.
And that, like everybody, like of course Thriller is the Michael Jackson album. But Off the Wall wasn't no slump, yo.
No, Off the Wall is definitely
that shit
classic,
was nuts, man.
Yeah, that's a classic. If you in the right age range, you understand how dope Off the Wall really was, man.
Your boy Lord Jamar said that was his best album.
Off the
Michael's
Wall?
best album?
Mm-hmm.
See? That's why I said it.
I can't be mad at that.
Like he's like 50, right? He just made 50 or something.
Who, Lord Jamar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he up there.
Because he's definitely in that age range to know what it is.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Like I'm more so from 52. I can comment more about the Thriller album, but I do remember hearing my moms and them playing the Off the Wall album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know classics from off of that album.
Yeah, man.
I think that the argument is that Thriller is when he started to get too
pop.
He started to get too poppy, and then when Bad came out, he was just making pop music for white folk. Was the Lord Jamar argument? That's not what I'm saying. That was his argument. But building off of that, I could kind of see that.
I can too.
Yeah, because you had like Bad was a good album, but most, like you said, for the most part, you had joints like Dirty Diana and like all of them, like them soft rock sounding joints, them alternative sounding joints. It was a lot of that on Bad versus Thriller. Thriller still had, the R&B bops to it. So yeah, that's how it progressed. So I can get with that.
No, it's class. Like looking at the track list on Off the Wall, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Yes.
Rock With You might be one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs, bro. As soon as that shit comes,
that's the perfect roller skating song.
Yeah.
Word, hell yeah. You know they was playing that in the roller rinks back in the day.
You know they
and
was.
As soon as that
you can't help to start grooving, son. You just get into that shit. And the same thing with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. When you hit they might he start talking on that shit. You like, oh shit, and then woo! That's it, yo.
And I think that was his last album.
That's how the album starts.
That was his last soul album like that, because if you do think about it, Thriller, he had whatchamacallit on it. I love Thriller, but Beat It is a rock song.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a rock song, bro. That's not soul like that. So you could tell when he transitioned to pop culture.
Looking at it right now, the only joint on Thriller that really sounds like it's cut from the Off the Wall cloth is Wanna Be Starting Something.
Yes.
For the most part, yeah.
Because like Baby Be Mine, The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It.
The Girl Is Mine. The Girl Is Mine.
Those are R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an R&B classic.
The Girl Is Mine. That was a joint.
Him and Paul McCartney, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was an R&B joint.
And Billie Jean has that kind of Motown-y feel to it. It does, but like for the most part, like you can see the change happening.
Yeah, it started there. He had a couple. He had less joints on there like that, like you said, like Wanna Be Starting Something, The Girl Is Mine. Well, PYT was on there too, right? That was more like a more like a upbeat kind of R&B joint.
And I love that song too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And was Human Nature that or Bad? Yo?
Human Nature is on Thriller.
So that's another R&B joint.
Okay, classic.
I'm over it. Michael's the greatest artist of all time, and there ain't nothing that nobody could ever say.
I still say that, but you got like some diehard Prince fans that could beg to differ.
That's going to be the argument to the end of time.
Yeah, who's the greatest of all time?
That's going to be the argument to the end of time. I prefer, like I fuck with Prince, but as a whole, I prefer Mike. Yo.
Prince was a more organic, like musician type.
Yeah,
he was able to do everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything. He was able to sing. He was able to dance. He was able to play instruments.
But
and
hold
more
up,
than one
though.
instrument.
Hold
He
up,
played
though.
multiple instruments.
Yeah.
Where do you put Beyonce in this conversation? Because we have to put Beyonce in this conversation.
Right.
And I'm not talking about how you feel about her personally, but I'm talking about the ability to be able to dance, the ability to be able to sing, the ability to be able to do both at the same time, which not a lot of people can do. Beyonce has hit records. How many albums has she fucking put out? Like, people have said that Beyonce is one of the
female
greatest.
version of Mike.
The female version of Mike, that's a perfect comparison.
But let me ask you this thing. When you start talking about, like, because we was basically in a GOAT conversation, where would you put Beyonce and the same deck as Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey and Patti LaBelle?
I think that Beyonce, Beyonce has a wider range of talent than them. And it's Beyonce can put on a concert like no other person on this goddamn planet can put on a concert, bro. If you've seen, I've never been to one, but I've seen them on TV.
Concerts. Patti LaBelle used to kill concerts, bro.
Okay.
Very entertaining to see Patti LaBelle do her
what,
thing live.
I understand what Generico is saying, because Beyonce has the performance ability.
Yes.
Like, her performance ability is, I think if I was to put them in any type of order, it would be Beyonce, Mariah Carey, and then Whitney Houston, Patti LaBelle. You can put them wherever. But the greatest voice, female voice of all time, and this ain't even on the Jersey bias, it's just a fact, Whitney Houston, yo. That's it.
Yeah.
That was the greatest voice I've ever heard in my life.
Some people will argue Mariah over her when it comes to that.
Just because of the octave.
How many octaves?
Because of the octave.
I don't care about the octaves. I care about the voice. Then when Whitney used to hold them notes like oh, what's the joint at the end of it?
Bodyguard?
Greatest Love of All.
Oh yeah.
When she held that note at the end and it didn't crack, it didn't it just like, yo.
I love Whitney, man. I'm still sick to this day that she's not here still. Like,
yo, my favorite Whitney, one of my favorite Whitney songs is I Have Nothing. Me and Shorty just watched Bodyguard. A couple, it was on the shit. We was like, yo, you know, we gonna fucking watch Bodyguard on this shit. The movie, or whatever. Whitney Houston, what she does in that song, I Have Nothing.
Yeah, she kills that. It's amazing.
Oh my God. And then at the end, she got the fucking nerve to take it up an octave.
Yeah, exactly.
And yo, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now. That
her talent, her voice.
And a lot of people can't break. When you see what you feel, even just talking about it.
Just talking about it.
A lot of people can't bring that emotion out of you. That's where I start going when I start having my GOAT conversations. And like one of my arguments with the whole M thing that we get into, like, I don't get that feeling when it comes to what I'm listening for from that music. I understand the niceness and I can appreciate what you do, but like what you just said, that feeling does not come from me from that person, which is why I have an issue when someone doesn't understand why I don't think that dude is the GOAT.
Yeah.
There's reasons for it. It's not just hate. You know what I'm saying? There's always reasons for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's few that make me feel like that. Like I know when I first heard, like, listen to Good Kid, Kendrick made me feel like just, it was like, yo, this dude just brought like the real shit back for me. And it was just his timing. His timing was real critical, yo.
I felt like you were a pusher and you gave crack. And I sampled it for the first time.
I couldn't let y'all miss that.
Kendrick, I had to hear everything that Kendrick was on, because I'm like, what is this that I wasn't even up on?
Yeah, I couldn't let y'all miss out on that, yo. I couldn't. Because it was like back in the day, and I remember this cat, shout out to James, wherever you at, from PCF. Back in the day when 50 was popping, he used to always, yo, 50, you heard that new 50? Yo, I got this 50 mixtape. You heard this 50? I got this 50. I'm like, who the fuck is 50? Like, yo, oh, you talking about that dude with Missy and Timbaland, the hot dog stand, that nigga? Like, how to rob 50? It's like, yeah, but yo, you gotta listen to this. And then when I finally got on, I was like, oh, all right, I understand.
Yeah.
So I became James for a moment. Shout out to James, yo.
50's first album is a classic. Everything after that, in my opinion, just went downhill with 50.
Like, the Massacre was pretty good, son. I fucked with the Massacre, yo.
Nah, it had like that Baltimore love song is dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Paper Soldiers was tight. Riding Music was tight.
Yeah. Oh, this is what you call riding music.
That shit was.
Ooh,
yeah. See, son, you forgot. that joint.
Yeah. You know, that's why it'd be kind of funny. Like, some people would like. I don't know. I fucks with 50, but would you put 50 in your top 10?
No.
No, he's
I don't
a vibe.
think I would do that.
50's lyrical ability is average at best.
And
he never really
wasn't like that. The mixtape that he dropped before that album.
Yeah, his mixtapes was different.
His lyrical ability is amazing, son.
Yeah,
50
I know he has it.
Track, but it's like
James gave me the mixtapes. I remember them, but it was the thing when he got signed, yo.
He followed the J blueprint as far as dumb it down for the masses to sell, and I mean it worked for him. You can't be mad at that.
Oh no, I'm not mad. He out here making TV shows. He's like
he found the lane and he definitely worked.
Yeah, you gotta respect him for that.
I respect that 100%.
50 to me has always been like he's always been a vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like back when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, like that shit was in my rotation. If I wanted to listen to some hard shit, I don't want to Get Rich or Die Trying. But like I still could never fix my mouth to put him in my top 10. I just can't.
No. Yeah. But 50 just knew how to do what he knew how to do. Even on Get Rich or Die Trying. In the club, played once a week for like 10 years. At its lowest point.
Yeah.
At its highest point, that joint was on every 10 minutes. And of course, at every single birthday party, especially a female birthday party, it was on.
Yeah.
To this day.
Yeah.
He made that Will Smith, that DJ Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince summertime joint. It's for a reason, and it's always going to get played for that reason. Just like every summer, some way, somehow, you're going to hear Summertime somewhere. And you're probably going to hear me playing that shit.
Oh, yeah.
But
other
than like when at a birthday party somewhere, you're going to hear 50. You're going to hear.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, Go Shorty at your birthday will always be that line that people will know and recognize forever.
Yep.
And it's one of them joints that cross over and transcended. You're going to hear that at white people's parties.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that at Asian people's parties. East Indian people's parties. You're going to hear that everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess 50's timeless?
I mean, he is. See, and that's the thing, man. That's the crazy thing when, like, these artists nowadays, man, you got cats that's nice and stuff like that. Like I be telling you, Generico, but are any of them like timeless like that? Can you think of an old school song from like 6ix9ine that you could throw on 3 years from now? That's gonna get it. Yeah.
As in Tekashi?
Yeah, you said you kind of like him. You did say that. You did say that. Did he not? Yeah. Did he not say that?
My camera's not frozen either. I'm just looking
at it. I think he said Mike.
He said that's Mike's guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
He said
that's the only thing I remember.
But I think he said
there's a difference. There's a difference, bro, between liking somebody and having a guilty pleasure. Tekashi is he's kind of a guilty pleasure for me, to where if I just want to listen to that shit because I'm just in that mode and I just want to I want to do the bounce real quick and say some ridiculous shit.
Yeah. Okay,
cool. But I like him. No. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that shit to me.
Try to put you out there on Front Street, son.
No. What I really want
I was just saying that, and it's not even a slight, but it's like a lot of these people really be on that making the track for the moment, so to say. Like it works for the time, but then if you think about it, I don't really. Maybe I got to see 5 years from now But I don't.
Yeah, it's not a lot of joints out here
that.
that do that, yo.
It's like it don't do it no more. And that even goes into the R&B world, bro. It's not just hip hop. It's music in general.
Yeah.
Like people are going for that, like the now sound, but they're not sticking their foot in it, so to say.
Yeah,
now thinking about it, like it's hard to come up with a new artist, or maybe not necessarily new, but like I want to say 2010 and beyond. It's hard for me to pinpoint, oh, that person is timeless. Their music is going to be listened to 100 years from now.
You saying the artist that came out in 2010 forward?
It depends on what genre.
2010 kind of, I would even maybe push it to the 2000s, but I know that Beyonce heated up in the 2000s and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, and Jay was still doing his thing then, but I'm talking about new artists. I'm talking about Kendrick and J. Cole. They're not timeless to me yet. Kendrick ain't timeless to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Not yet.
I mean, he doesn't have his resume isn't well his commercial like big resume isn't long enough. Like even though Kendrick goes back to like, you know, he predates 2010, but I get what you're saying.
But
it's not a joint.
He predates 2010 to who though? Good Kid came out in 2012. The average listener don't know shit about Section 8.
That's what I'm saying. He predates 2010 for most. What I'm saying by he predates means that most people don't know about him before Good Kid.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I got
you say Chris Brown?
Well, Chris Brown was before 2010, right?
Yeah, Chris Brown came out.
Yeah, he was. You know what?
06-ish, something like that.
That's a conversation right there.
Chris Brown, I think he's timeless.
Yeah,
I think he can fall.
I would
into
agree
that
with
category.
you. I would agree with
Neo
you.
Neo is timeless.
Neo I would not agree with that.
Neo has songs that will forever. What was that joint that with the jungle beat? Like he had, what the hell was that?
Oh, that like, I know what you saw the kind of that joint off of Year the Gentleman. I know what you're talking about.
Like on 2010 came out of that. That song, son, can forever be played.
That was like 06, 07. I know what you're talking about.
Independent Woman will forever be like something that you would be able to hear.
But that's what I'm saying. To us, I get what you're saying. But what we're saying when we say timeless to the masses,
Neo is connected to freaking that Beyonce song. He wrote that to the left. That irreplaceable.
His music. Yeah. Neo's music.
Yeah, that's
what
I'm saying.
He got to get credit for that.
I give Neo all the credit, but
Neo wrote songs for Michael Jackson, yo. Yeah, he gets the credit, definitely. Yes. But we're talking about him being timeless.
He has to be.
I can't think of a song off the top of my head from Neo that I'll be like, yo, they're gonna hear it 100 years from now.
Go on, girl.
How does it go?
The song that Michael Jackson, when Michael Jackson heard it, he called Neo personally, said I love the song, and sang it to him, nigga.
How does it go?
I can't sing, son. You ain't gonna get me to make a fool of myself on this.
I tried. I tried so hard.
You tried, yo.
I tried to get Mills out here with the vocals, but it just didn't work like that.
Nah, but I mean, Neo definitely got joints, especially them first two albums. Like Because of You, like Can We Chill and Crazy and all. Yeah, definitely. But to define someone as timeless means that when you sitting at the cookout in 2045 and a Neo song come on and everybody's going to be like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I could see Closer.
Yes.
And I just can't get.
Yes.
I could see that. Okay. Maybe I can see it, but like Chris Brown with like, I don't know your name, but excuse me, miss. I saw you from across the room. Son, fuck out
Even
of here.
Just the first, wasn't Run It Chris Brown's first single?
Yeah, Would You Else?
That joint still goes hard.
Hell yeah.
First single.
Hell yeah. And my girl hates Chris Brown. She says he sounds like he's autistic. And I was like, what?
Yo, how?
Damn, babe. She's sitting there cooking. She's like, "What do you want me to say? He sounds autistic." And I'm like, "Babe, whoa, chill, easy on that." But nah, Chris Brown to me, he is timeless, and Chris Brown gets the respect because he can do the sing and dance shit at the same exact time.
Yeah, he does it. Yo.
Remember the name of that damn song with the jungle beat, man. It's getting me upset. And
I know what you're talking about, yo. I know what you're talking about. Cause that you talking about the joint off of Year Gentleman, that little like it's kind of like a little clubby or whatever.
Yo, that song is hot, son. And like anytime that you put the song on, people are gonna get up. That song is timeless.
But
I like how this whole thing, like I started with Fat Joe because there is something that I want to talk about Fat Joe.
Yeah, we can get back to it.
And we'll get back to it. But I love how it just transitioned to where we are now because this is a fucking great conversation. But one thing that I did want to ask Lou, Spills, whatever the fuck your name is today, what do you think about Fat Joe? Honest opinion.
I think Fat Joe is a legend. I remember Fat Joe from You Gotta Flow Joe, which I think those lyrics at the time when it came out and everything, I'm like, who is this dude? He is whack. And then I seen him grow into this dude that he has a lot of tracks that I'm like, your boy Don Cartagena went in. So as far as the longevity, I got to give it to him. As far as like putting that Puerto Rican flag on his back and repping for years, I got to give it to him. I give him his dues. As far as this hip hop culture goes, I do give him his dues. I would never put him like in my top 20 or maybe even 30. You know what I'm saying? But Fat Joe, I do consider him to be nice.
Okay.
I do give him that. He's Hollywood right now, so lyrically he ain't the same, but
yeah.
Fat Joe put in that work. He already put that work in, as far as I'm concerned.
I give Fat Joe his just due for sure. I mean, he's been doing this since fucking forever, since Pun, which he said, you know what?
Pun, like Fat Joe been doing this, I'm telling you, since like '86. That You Gotta Flow Joe came out like 1986 or '88, some craziness.
Yeah, he was out before Pun. That much I do remember.
Yeah, that's where I remember Fat Joe from.
Oh,
that's
I gotta
what I'm saying.
go.
Like to see him grow like that, I give that man nothing but props as far as he held it and he did what he was supposed to do with it. He got a hold of it and he ain't let go.
Wow, I did not know that Fat Joe was doing this shit for that long. That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, my thing with Fat Joe. All right, so we gonna get into some serious shit real quick, okay? Fat Joe, I get that you cut from the cloth. You grew up in the Bronx. You done seen it and you done been through it. He done been shot. I get it, right? Fat Joe's use, and this is, I want to get your take on this now. Fat Joe's use of the N-word. The reason why I single him out is because we don't, like me, for example. I don't just go around and I say the N-word once in a blue, right? I'm not saying that it's right. I grew up in Irvington, New Jersey, surrounded by the culture. Anybody who I was cool with was talking like that and didn't have a problem if I talked like that. Now, with that said, right there, I feel like mainstream, you shouldn't be so loose with it because he's loose with it. But everybody gives him the Fat Joe pass, which I get too. But I feel like if you look at Spanish rappers or Eminem, you'll never, ever hear, not on track, him come out with the N-word or whatever. And I think maybe he did once or something back in the day, and he got completely destroyed for that shit, and he just don't do it. But if you're a Spanish rapper or a white rapper or something like that, it's kind of just known like, yo, you don't do that. But Fat Joe has just he just does it all the time in interviews, in his music, and all of that. Some people don't got a problem with it though. What do you think about that?
That's a hood path. That's what he's getting. And I mean, the way I feel about it when it comes to that is we really do have the power to abolish that word if we want to. Because if you think about it, when you use that word, it's more so to emphasize a point or whatever.
Right.
You can use any other type of curse word or whatever to replace it, and it'll still have the same emphasis. If I say, you my nigga, and because I want people to know my endearment of you or whatever, why can't I say, that's my motherfucker over there?
Right.
Just for the emphasis level. Or if you say, look at them niggas over there. Look at those motherfuckers over there. Why can't you say that instead?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can replace the word if we take the conscious effort to where this won't even be a fucking conversation. Because I'm over the ER versus the GGA debate. I'm kind of sick of the word myself. I try to be conscious of it, but sometimes the hood will come out me and it will slip. But I do try to like defer to like using other words when I'm trying to put some emphasis on what I'm talking about when I'm describing somebody, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he's gonna always get that hood pass, like, because the hood is like that, man. The hood goes by the rules of, if you grew up in this environment and you lived through this, then I'll let you say it. But this dude that don't know nothing about this lifestyle better not come over here and disrespect what I'm about.
That's what it comes down to.
Right.
That's what it really does come down to. Like I said, I think we should just, if people really feel some type of way about that word, find a word to replace it with. You can still have the same amount of emphasis. You could say, oh, fucker, piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? If you got a curse to make it, you could say anything in place of that word to put emphasis on whatever you're describing.
Yeah.
I think with the obvious controversy of the word throughout the years, if you're mainstream, I feel like you should know better. You know, black is different for black folk. Even though, you know what, a lot of black folk, like you just mentioned, are trying to stop saying the word so much. It's just, it's hard when you're used to it.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the whole thing. We have brains. We're human beings. We're not just programmed. So we have to, like, life is not easy. You have to make a conscious effort if you want to change shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's really, it's just one of the things where, like you said, you become so accustomed, but as the light has been brought on how people view the word to be callous, despite how, you know, some of us may view it, like you said before, as a term of endearment, but a lot of people, even those from the culture and in the black community, still view it as callous, ER or not. Yeah. And it's a, like you said, it's a habit to break, and if you so choose to do that, you choose to do that. But if you feel that it's necessary for you to constantly say that to get your point across, then are you really taking into account the people? And I'm speaking on a celebrity level. Do you, if you feel it's so hard for you to break, are you taking into account the people that are listening to you speak, that are listening to your music, that follow you, who feel some type of way about this?
Right.
And like you said, Smells, like, yeah, do I still use it in certain situations and this, that, and the other? Yeah. Am I just like out in the streets with it like that? Nah, because that's not what it's meant for. But it's something, like you say, especially when you have eyes on you, like nobody's checking for me. Maybe the few people that's watching this podcast, what up? But for people that have the masses following them, then you got to kind of take that into consideration. That's your responsibility as a celebrity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it comes down to, man.
And Fat Joe, Tekashi is another one. Every other word out Tekashi's fucking mouth.
Yeah, he's just a...
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you already know that there is a known issue with this and people are trying to stop it, and you and plus, on top of all of that, you ain't even black.
No, but the whole thing with him is, I mean, by now people should know not to take that clown seriously. And you know that whatever comes out of his mouth, he's going to say whatever he feels is not supposed to be said.
That's
the vibe. Yeah, that's the vibe he comes with. Whatever he feels he's not supposed to say, he's gonna say.
Right.
He's trying. He uses that and just the way he operates in general to try to portray this hardness or whatever. Like, you have to find a way to let people know that you are hard like that, when we already know you're not. But you're trying to portray this image, and you feel that in this particular subject, by your speech and what you say is one of those things. But like no, that you're not proving no points to people that really know about that lifestyle and about you. So what are you really doing? Who are you really talking to? These gullible people that got the wool over their eyes that don't know no better? Okay. If you know what I'm saying? Sheep follow each other to slaughter, man. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just don't care for Fat Joe like that. Maybe that's me. I never bought a Fat Joe album in my life. I think Lean Back is the only Fat Joe song on my Spotify.
I never really like Lean Back, keep it 100. Me personally.
Like I was never a Fat Joe fan like that. I mean, he could spit some stuff, but I know a ton of other artists who can spit better stuff than him. And with Fat Joe, listen to him on Drink Champs, man.
I haven't watched the episode. I gotta watch it.
Fat Joe act like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Fat Joe's ego is out here with it. And all the stuff that he was saying, it's like, yo, you know what? I'm out here giving money to this charity and to that charity and the schools and stuff like that. And I'll be back in the hood. Yo, catch me back in the projects. And they'll say, what up? And they show me love and all of that stuff. But I'm out here in Turks and Caicos and all of that. And it's like, you ain't really got to do all of that, bro. Like, is Jay, no, for real though, Smills, like, is Jay out here boasting like that on interviews, in songs maybe? But when Jay was on what's that shit on Netflix? Who's the dude who used to be the late night host on
David Letterman? My next guest.
Exactly. Yeah. Great fucking show, by the way. The Barack Obama shit was fucking amazing. If you've never seen it. That was Jay was on it. Jay doesn't come off like a cocky motherfucker. He comes off like a motherfucker who knows. I'm trying to watch my words right now, so motherfucker is the word. But Jay come on like, yeah, I got it. You know I got it. I don't even need to say it. That's Jay. Fat Joe needs to let you know that he has it.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't be watching his timelines and all of that, and I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But maybe he hearing whispers in the wind that people are saying that he ain't doing shit for the community.
Or maybe he's just one of those type of people that just needs validation, like that.
There you go.
It could be that.
You know, but if people ain't talking about you doing stuff for the community, but you are, then fuck them.
Yeah, because who are you doing it for? Those people that ain't talking about it, or for the community?
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That was just my little 2 cents on Fat Joe. Shout out to Fat Joe. I mean, he does wear that. He wears that Puerto Rican flag on his back and represents for all of us. And he, built something from nothing, is what I meant to say. So I ain't hating on the motherfucker. I'm just saying, it's like, yo, like, you ain't gotta be so fucking cocky and dropping M-bombs every other word like your name is Tekashi. But anyway, moving on. What'd you think about some old verse new?
It's about that time.
I think it's about that time for some old version.
It is about that time. Well, let's get into it.
All right. So this week on Old vs. New, we're going to do something just a little bit different. The old is going to be KRS-One Step Into a World. And the new one, so I'm going to try not to shit on the new cats now. At the request of one Smills Daily. Now, he put me on someone named Polo G. I've never heard of Polo G. As of 12 o'clock today. I know who he is. Polo G, not for nothing though. He can spit. He can spit some shit. I'm not even gonna hold you. So first thing I'll do is KRS-One Step Into a World, and also if my cadence is not correct, if my flow ain't exactly how it is on the song, then forgive me. All right. All right. Damn. Anyway, here we go. KRS-One Step Into a World. I'm about to hit you with that traditional style, the cold rocking, giving options for head knocking, non-stopping, tip-topping, lyrics we dropping, but styles can be forgotten. So we bring back the raw hip-hopping, just like the records and tapes you be copping. Cop some break dancing, boogie popping and locking, tick-tocking, guaranteed to have you clocking. We only get better, and only better we have gotten. This type of flow don't even think about stopping. Beware, the length of the rhyme flow can be shocking. All music lovers in the place right now that never understood the way KRS got down. Yo, I'm strictly about skills and dope lyrical coasting, relying on talent, not marketing or promotion. If a dope lyrical flow is a must, you got to go with a name you can trust. I'm not saying I'm number one. Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
That was the line right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
KRS-One Step Into a World. Now, I'm gonna do a song called "The Code." It's a King Von song, but this is a part of Polo G's verse on it. So here we go. I don't really give a fuck what the block says. Too official to clear up a rumor. My homie laughed hard, heard an op was dead. Guess he got a killer sense of humor. I heard that pussy been thinking about death. Well, that bullet gon' stick to his mind like a tumor. Catch him and change him, look how they played him. He only gangster up on his computer. He played foul and we gave him a pass. That don't mean we won't get on your ass in the future. And I won't trip. And I won't trip when my little brother clutching. Hold on. And I won't trip when my little brother clutching. Know how he put in that work with the Ruger. My sneakers, Louboutin. These ain't Pumas. Okay.
My sneakers, Louis Vuitton.
Yo, the way that Google spelled it was fucked up. My sneakers, Louis Vuitton. These ain't Pumas. I got a low end hoe. She a booster. Nut on her face, I call her an Uber. He's saving these hoes like his first name was Super.
Yo.
That's my guy right there, son.
Yeah. It wasn't bad. Not for nothing.
Not the way he says it.
I mean the way I say
it. Because it's a certain flow. Because when he broke the rhyme pattern, where he's like, "Get on your ass" in the future, I'm sure it's a break right there. Because then he gets into the future rhyme pattern after that for the next couple balls.
My whole thing with new verse old is to read it like words, because when you read some shit from like someone lyrical like Rakim and you read it like words, it sounds like poetry. But when you just read these new cat stuff, just reading words, it sounds fucking ridiculous. Some of it
sounds like they babbling.
Yeah. But I
get that.
That was new verse old for this week.
I get that.
Old versus new, you mean?
Old versus new. Old versus new for this week. What you got, G? I got a couple more things on the docket. Anything you want to discuss?
Nah, I mean we can talk about that honor for Kobe this past weekend. Got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Him, it was a couple names on that list. I gotta remember. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. You know what I'm saying? It was a good honor. Of course, Vanessa got up there, accepted it for him. Michael Jordan presented it.
Nice.
So it was good to see, Kobe get that love, man. I still say change him to the logo. You know what I'm saying? Because that will be the ultimate honor, man. And
man, if they couldn't do that with Michael Jordan, I doubt they're gonna do that with Kobe.
But I guess in the circumstance of Kobe not being here no more.
Yeah, that would be the only exception that I could see them considering it, at least.
Yeah,
I think that they should.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's not like what are people gonna do? Oh, Kobe Bryant, why the fuck? Like he was one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Who's the logo now? Isn't it Jerry West?
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Still Jerry. That's who it's always been.
Why did they choose Jerry West in the first place?
That's when they was trying to popularize basketball. And he was that dude. Like Jerry West, he has an impressive, like you look up his stats.
Okay.
Yeah, he up there. But like Kobe,
But yeah,
man,
big shout out to Kobe, man. He deserves it.
It was
obviously.
weird seeing that, like all of that, like seeing KG up there, Tim Duncan up there, and then to hear them talking about. I couldn't watch that shit, man. And the whole part, like when Vanessa and Mike was up there, I couldn't watch that. I didn't want to go in no dark places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kobe passing, yo. Kobe passing just lets you know that, yo, you know what? Time don't give a fuck about nobody.
Nah, it took him and his 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And like,
Time don't
you
give
know
a
what I'm saying?
fuck. When it is your time, it don't matter if your name is Kobe Bryant. That's
Yep.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's why you got to live every single moment of every day to the fullest. If you got some bullshit going on in your life that you just can't wrap your head around, just breathe in and breathe out and remember that you can actually do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because this cat's out here who ain't. It's crazy,
like
man.
so many people going entirely too soon. Like this past month when we just got hit over the head. DMX,
Yeah.
Black Rob, Shock G. It's like it was one after the other, man. And that's how it be sometimes, man. Death always pulls up and takes a few. It don't always. It's never really just one person.
Yeah.
It pulls up and it takes a couple. Like I still remember 08, Isaac Hayes and Bernie Mac. They died a day apart. I think Bernie Mac died first, and then Isaac Hayes died the next day.
Wow.
And it was crazy that they was in the same fucking movie.
And they was both in Soul Man, yo.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Was that a
crazy.
good
was-
movie?
It was funny.
I
enjoyed it. Him and Samuel L. Jackson, son. That when he slammed the door in his face and Bernie started going off, and that's the thing I loved about Bernie Mac, because he always came off as like Uncle Pete at the barbecue, like that vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I
See,
always
it's
love that
funny
about
because-
his comedy, man.
But it's funny because, there was something about Bernie that jumped out to me from when I was like first seeing him and stuff, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But then it started coming to me, and from stuff that I heard, people was kind of like low key hating on Bernie because they were saying that he was taking a page from Robin Harris, man.
Yeah,
And if
yeah,
you
of course
think
he
about
was.
it,
I don't think. Yeah, of course he was.
yeah.
He was
'Cause
taking the
even
page
seeing
off
them,
of
the
who
two
y'all
of them,
got.
Robin Harris
I'm young and
Baby
dumb.
kids. Baby
House
kids.
Party
Oh, okay.
from
Like,
House Party. Matter of fact, they was
some
both
people
in
were
House
saying that
Party
he
together.
was trying to take his style and whatnot.
I mean, I don't think that he took his style, his comedic his comedic cadence was that of Robin Harris. I don't think it was necessarily his style, but he was the same. They were like the same type of person. So
I would love to see them two together in the movie, man.
they in House Party together?
Bernie's in the first House Party?
Was it the first one?
I don't think he's in the first one.
But yo, Bernie, a House Party and Friday. Yo.
And the Bernie Mac show, man.
Yeah,
I love
a show
the
that
Bernie
people don't
Mac
talk
show.
about either, yo.
I
A
love
show that
that
a lot of
show.
people don't talk about.
It's so good. It's such
It
a
was
good
so
show.
real, yo. I
Yeah.
love that shit. When he had, this was always the funniest line, and just that whole situation when he had the kids, and it was an episode where they was telling the social worker about him, and the social worker came through like, Mr. Mac, Jordan said that you said you're going to bust his head till the white meat shows. Like, yo, I hollered, son, because you heard that in the hood, but he said it properly. Cause you know in the hood,
Right.
I'm gonna bust your head to the white meat show. Like,
Right.
yo, and just moments like that, and they was just real moments, yo. It was crazy, man. It was
Yo, you know what sticks out to me? The episode where his son had, what was his son named? Jordan, right? Was it Jordan?
Yeah. His nephew.
His nephew.
Yeah.
He had his boy over and they was practicing wrestling moves. And Bernie's sitting in the chair and he looks outside and he sees his son bent over and the dude's behind him because they trying to do a wrestling move, but it looks funny as hell. And yo, Bernie's reaction is the funniest shit ever, yo.
He
Yo,
just
shout
had
out
that
to
real
that show.
authentic, yo.
R.I.P. Bernie.
And I remember
Oh,
he had one episode where he was sitting, he's sitting in the America chair. And he was talking about the kids or whatever. He's
America.
like, oh, and this is how tall he was. Like how you used to write how tall you are on the door jamb or whatever.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah, he used to be this tall. Then he stopped and he was like, who the hell been writing on my wall? Like he turned, you know what I'm saying? And that's it puts you, like his show put you in a place, especially for me growing up, like my grandmother and stuff. Shout out to Clara Williams, all love, R.I.P. But he gave me them vibes, them old school, you know what I'm saying, family vibes, yo. And it wasn't no show that really,
You
because
give
like
me
the
that
Cosby
vibe.
Show did it in a family, like they did a family thing, but they did like the stuff, the family all come together. Like Bernie did that, I'll beat your ass, like you know what I'm saying, that real stuff.
You
Yeah.
give me that vibe, G. You with your kids. You the
Yeah.
new Bernie Mac out here.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, it's funny because my daughter said that to me. You act just like Bernie Mac. Some years
Yeah.
ago.
I've never once
The old
heard
school,
you
yo.
call your son by his actual name. You say boy. Get over here, boy. Don't touch that, boy.
Yo, man. Yeah, it's true. It's true, people. I do that. It's just a thing. It's just one of them things that, that's just how coming up is, man. And just having, I just keep that old school vibe. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I still have new school values and, I do different things with my kids, but that old school vibe, I just think that's very important because it instills a certain level of respect, discipline, and structure in kids that you can't replicate that without having that old school vibe. Yo.
I want to build on something you just said. What is new school vibe or new school? Whatever you just said. New school morals, or you just said something. What's the difference?
Like old school vibe. I'm saying it's just a certain, in my opinion, it's a certain way to structure your lesson teaching, your learning for your kids, your discipline, and all of that. And it's a certain way. I mean, for me that I go about, and I've learned different methods. I don't really dig deep into the bag like how I came up because that's just a whole different
You
animal.
can't do that.
Yeah,
You
nah,
can't even
it's
do
a
that.
wrap for that. But to take pieces of that and pieces of, different things like talking to your kids, explaining things to them, writing things down, sending them places to actually go read this and go look at this and extend, help them understand better. But like the new school vibe is just your kids smacking you on TV on the Dr. Phil show and all that other crazy shit, and people yelling at their mothers and fathers, and like that video of that chick that had her homegirl's mother hemmed up at the door looking for her and slapping her homegirl's mother like, yo, where's she at? And like slapping her, like stuff like that. And that it's not even a white and black thing either, because that was a black girl that did that. It's just, I don't know, these kids today, man, they just don't. A lot of them do need a couple ass whoopings. Like,
I mean,
I ain't
and
gonna
that's
front,
what I think-
but it's the
I think
structure
that's what it-
that's they're missing, man. It's the
comes
structure.
more so from, like, it seems like it got to the point where, and it could be because of the rules and like that the government have and all of that now, but parents started trying to be friends and not parents.
Yes.
Agreed.
And that sums it up, yo. That sums
That's
it
the
up.
whole thing.
That sums it up. And I
That's
tell my
one
kids
thing
that all the time.
I'm not gonna be that parent. The one thing that I used to hate it when my mom used to say it to me, but it's one of the realest shits that she said to me, man.
Mhm.
And she was like, "I'm not your fucking friend."
Yeah.
Mm.
I said
Whenever we
that's-
got into
yeah.
arguments and all this, that, and the third, and it was like me and her was coming to the butt heads thing,
Mhm.
she would make sure to remind me that she's not my fucking friend. And I'm glad that she took that stance because she's being a mother and not a friend.
Yeah.
Right.
It's what she knows is in my best interest versus her allowing me to do what I think is in my best interest, even though she knows that it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Of course.
that's the difference.
Like I say to my kids, like, I'm your father first. And when it comes to that mentality, I'm not worried about how you feel. If I hurt your feelings, I'm not worried about none of that. If it's a space where I have to be your father, then that's the space that I'm in. And I'm not like that, worrying about your whole, you know what I'm saying? No. Now, we can get to that later, but when it's a certain situation, I'm your father first. And that's what, to me, that's a thing that's missing from parenting, and just that having that structure where your kids understand the dynamics of the relationship. That's why kids are out here slapping adults and punching teachers and doing all this crazy stuff, because they're not learning that hierarchy in the home. And that's what's missing. That's the part of the old school that I keep in my house. Like when I send my daughter, my oldest daughter, and even my middle daughter, she has ADHD, she's a little off the wall, but you know what? I can, with 100% confidence, say if I was to send them to a play date or a sleepover, I'm not gonna hear nothing crazy. I have no worries
let me
about
ask
that.
you this. Let me ask you this, because it's crazy when you mention it like that. But like me, I'm not big on religion and stuff like that. I don't claim a religion. I just feel like I always say I have my own spiritual understanding to a degree. And I'm just not, I don't move right. So with that being said, do you think that because this era is the churchless era, now when you do have church,
It's crazy how you put that
as-
just now.
because you got to think about it. When
I
you
understand
put
where you're coming
church
from.
as the structure, like when church is a structure in society and something that's focused on, the understanding of the hierarchy of church is you have God before man, man before woman, woman before child, and so on and so on. That is the natural law and order of the universe. So, like, that's in God's house. That's the natural order. So with that structure being there, it doesn't really allow you to be on that friend parent type thing because you're following your hierarchy.
Because you're rooted in it.
Exactly. So do you think that maybe since we've allowed it to get to, because society has allowed it to get to the churchless era. Basically.
So you're saying that the lack of church in these families now is the reason why our kids are out here wild?
I'm wondering if that is what's causing a direct impact.
I can see it. I mean, this is like,
because it's not like the whole thing is, it's crazy to say that because I'm not a person that steps into the church. But if you're not a person that steps into the church, you still got to have some type of soul searching thing within to where you're not going to just be on some no holds barred life.
of course,
You get what I'm saying?
the church puts you in a mindset.
Exactly.
Whether
people
you're-
are going
whether you're
without the
religious or
church,
not.
but they don't have that other aspect of them as far as what is the guidelines that you're actually following. What do you stand for? People really stand for whatever the fuck they feel like standing for at the moment.
Yeah. You're saying as church was, or religion in general, people use as a tool to structure their household based on their faith.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and like I understand what you're saying. Like, okay, so the faith says that the hierarchy is this, and love thy father and mother, and a man shall leave his wife, and they shall become one yoke, and all that stuff. So this is what we're doing because this is what it says. And now in the era where that escapes you, now what do you build your structure off of besides your own? Your own thoughts.
Your
thoughts
morals.
may be is I should let my child be free and I should let him learn how to do his thing on some Will and Jada shit. And it's you know what I'm saying? It's people developing their own methods.
I'm glad you mentioned that Will and Jada shit, son, because I was gonna talk about that, but I love this conversation that we're having right now But I want to get back to that Will and Jada shit real quick, because Willow Smith is out here talking about that she's polyamorous, which means that she doesn't believe in just having a relationship or a sexual relationship with just one person. And how old is she? I think she's 18 or
something like that.
I mean, Google will tell me right now.
How about this? How about we not even put a damn
She's 20
word?
years old. So, okay. But
how about we
still
not put a label on it, a word, like whatever that word was that you used, and just call it being single?
Yeah, right.
But no, it goes beyond that though, son.
Yeah, it's about what they're saying, or what polyamorous basically breaks down to is that people are saying that they can have a fulfilling, loving relationship with more than one person.
Correct.
So that's what single people do.
Hold on though.
In the extent of like me being married type shit.
The Google definition,
but not being married though.
Characterized by or involved in the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual relationships with the consent of all people that are involved.
You can live a single life like that.
Nah,
I don't understand what this word is.
But it goes
with everybody being consensual. You can live a single life with have shorty over, and then the next shorty that's like on her way, you can tell shorty that's there, yo, I got other shorty on the way, and she can be like,
by like one of my dudes, bro, like for years.
Then he was polyamorous.
I'm not gonna put his name on blast, but Generico, you know which.
I know who you're talking about, but let me ask you this. And with respect to him, do you think that it was what he was doing? Do you think he was just smutting?
Yes.
But that's the difference. Different. Polyamory is not smutting. I am in a actual relationship with 3 chicks. I'm talking about we go to dinner, sleep over my house. I buy flowers. But the thing is,
and
how
he's dealing with his smut buckets. Hold on.
Yeah.
How he's dealing with his smut buckets is, yes, he would take that trip to the freaking Chinese food spot. Yes, he would take that trip to the liquor store. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like he wasn't doing stuff like that.
Yo,
son,
I'm talking on another level.
Son, let me. All right, you got me. I'm married. I have a wife. We do what we do, right? Polyamory is what I have with 2 other women, and they all know about it, and they're all cool with it. And those 2 other women both have 2 other men.
Right.
And we all know about everybody, and we all cool with it. That's what it is. And like to the extent of, like I said.
That's what that sounds like. Single people in the industry.
Yeah, you got bread, you can make anything.
I mean, a lot of people in the industry probably practice it, polyamory, because they can.
So why we gotta call it a word? It's just being single, man. I think that this wouldn't even be a topic if there wasn't a new word for people to put in their vocabulary.
But
it's always been a thing. Now people define it, is what it is.
But let me ask you this, right? Because polyamory also, love can be involved. If you're single and you fucking 3 bitches, you don't love them. But
you don't know what the person is feeling, man. That's one thing that I learned.
I feel like you're being a contrarian right now.
The outside, like, man, I'm telling you, things will look like a certain way from the outside, and behind closed doors, this person to be, oh, I love you, you're the greatest thing in the world, but that won't be reflected in conversations that they have with their peoples, and so you can't really say that, man. Everything ain't what it appears.
I mean, I feel you on it just being single, but
that's what I'm calling. But I'm not even gonna use that tongue twister word that y'all use. I'm just gonna call it being single.
All I'm saying is that when I was single and I was doing my thing and I was putting up numbers, the L word never came up, and then you know what I mean?
What about the dudes that use that? Some dudes have to use that word to get all the way.
I never did.
I
never did.
Yeah.
Some dudes think that they have to use that word to get all the way.
Did you ever have to do that? No.
To get all the way?
To get the buns.
I don't even like saying that word like that, bro. So
what? That love.
Yeah.
You got to earn
That's
that
not a
from
joke.
you. That's not just something.
But that's what I'm
throw around
saying,
like
though.
that.
The only person that can earn that from you is someone that you would say that you are in a relationship with, correct?
And that's dudes like us. But on the flip side, like I said, you have some dudes that feel they have to use that word to get to the ultimate prize.
Yeah, but if they have to do that, if they have to use that word to get to the ultimate prize, they don't mean it. They're just using it as a tool in order to get what they want.
These polyamorous people have 3 relationships and
where they
love
supposedly
everybody.
That sounds like a hippie lifestyle, if you ask me. Sounds like the 60s all over again.
Yeah.
I just don't think that Willow Smith has the example of her parents, which let's keep it a billion. That's the reaon why this is going on right now.
Yeah.
Because Will and Jada, it's always been that way with Will and Jada. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think at 20 years old, I don't even think you ain't even fucking really explore like that yet, unless you've been bugging since you was like 14. But at 14, you don't know what love is like that. Not for your parents, maybe for your brother, but you don't know what it is to love another person like I love you, like you are my family, like you are my wife, my husband. Well,
I think you do. That's how these kids be committing. Like some kids will commit suicide over a supposed person they loved.
You think you do? Yeah, you think you do, but that's usually young cats who don't know better, who think that the first piece of pussy that they ever got is the be all end all, and you don't know that you got numbers ahead of you, my guy.
Yeah.
And it ain't that serious, and you don't have to fucking kill yourself.
We all went through it.
We all went through that shit. I mean, when I broke up with Shorty, with my old Shorty that I was with for like 11 years or something like that, when we broke up, yeah, you know what? Obviously, it sucked for a little bit. But do you want to know what I did after that? I went crazy and I forgot about her.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I went crazy. The 2 gentlemen in this podcast know.
I know that bed I gave you got some work.
I don't even have, and I had to throw that bed out.
I bet you ain't want to bring that into the new crib with the new lifestyle. Nah, yo, that bed had demons. Them shits would have haunted your dreams, son.
Demons of past numbers. I can't even sleep. I just hear them.
Yeah.
This just in, my Knicks have clinched 4th spot in the playoffs, baby. Yes, the 4th seed, we get the first round home court advantage. Yes, bring on the Hawks, baby. Bring on the Hawks.
Oh, you know,
let's go. Play the Hawks.
Let's go.
You know why G ain't play the applause just now? Because it ain't the Pacers.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm not hating.
The who?
You get applause. We ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be a long time before I ain't even. That's why I have nothing to say. But you want to hook them up? We can hook them up. Go ahead, Knicks.
Let's go, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby. We're Knicks, baby.
Final road to Brooklyn. I want to see y'all play the Nets, yo. That's what I want.
Long time coming. We're gonna get the Nets up out of here if they come up in our face.
I want to see that. That's the matchup I want to see, yo.
Because this right here, I don't think y'all got work for that. It's a B. Brooklyn.
I don't even think Brooklyn's gonna be at full health for this whole playoffs, but we're gonna sit back and watch.
Is everybody back?
They are, but it's looking suspect. So we'll see how this plays out. It's gonna be interesting. Get your popcorn ready.
In other news, I want to ask y'all a question real quick. There's a new Cinderella movie that's coming out, right? Like it ain't been done and over, rinse and repeat. But a new one's coming out. Mm-hmm. The fairy godmother is played by a man, a gay man.
I thought you was gonna say Terry Crews. I was waiting for you to say that. I was dead ass waiting for you to say that, bro.
He should. You know what, son? He'd be perfect. But anyway, it's played by someone named Billy Porter. So Billy Porter is Smills, you may remember he was in American Horror Story. If you just Google it real quick and look at him, he was a gay man in American Horror Story. He's a black guy. Now you may know who it is. But he's going to play the fairy godmother in Cinderella. Now, it's not like they're calling him the fairy godfather. They're calling him the fairy godmother because he's going to be in the movie as a gay man, right? Now, here's where we live in a PC world, and I'm not here to offend nobody, and that is not what kind of party this is. I do not agree with this casting right here, because what message are you trying to send to children now?
No, that's what I was going to ask you. What is the point? Like, what is the point that the story character has to be changed like that? Like, what is the point? I don't know.
Inclusivity.
So what?
Inclusivity?
Yeah.
Okay, so why can't you just make any of the other characters in that movie gay?
But it's the thing about it is that you got to think of the times that we're in and the climate when it comes to the LGBTQ, and even that now I think it's like 8 more letters on that joint, which is kind of crazy. LGBT. I'm not even gonna say it because I don't know. Those are the only ones I know, but I know it's mad more letters. And I don't have no problems. I don't have no beef with nobody. To each his own. Do whatever makes you feel good. Do what makes you happy. I'm with it.
Right.
But I think that came about because of said climate and inclusivity. Because we can see as a society that people are, people that's a part of this community in any way, form, or fashion. Some feel ostracized. Some feel lost. Some feel, estranged from reality. Some feel like they have to, you know what I'm saying? So Disney, including young children, and so Disney, I guess they made a decision. Good.
Why I get what you're saying with that, but I don't understand why you have to change the lead character and what they are forever with the story as far as for the inclusivity or whatever you said, when you can make any character in the movie reflect that. Because there's no main storyline behind them, but you can just easily throw that in the movie and what is seen would be understood.
Yeah, I know.
When you swapping out the main characters for different things, it's kind of crazy. I get it because it's like, why are you making a Black Superman movie? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it, but it's like, why does that feel like did that community feel that it was necessary for that character to have to be had? Like how Black America feels that we need a Black representation of Superman? Like, is that on the same comparison level?
No.
Yes. I believe so.
I don't think so.
Coming from that community, I would say that, and I'm just saying this, like I said, I'm not speaking for or speaking from, but just looking around at how the climate and just the social impact that all of this has been having, for them to see somebody in the lead role that's representative of their community, it was just like you said, us seeing a Black Superman, or us in 2008 seeing a Black president.
I don't, and here's why I don't agree with that.
League, bro. If that's the case, why don't you go for the front? It's bigger fish to fry if that's the case. Why don't you make Cinderella be a man?
I think that race.
You get what I'm saying? Like, if you going that hard for it like that, fry the bigger fish. I think like that with the fair, that's kind of tedious right there, bro.
They doing it for the whole inclusivity shit that G just said. In my opinion, though, race and gender preference is two completely different. If they decided to make a Black Superman, I wouldn't have as much. I mean, they're not staying true to the lore, but we in 2021 now. It is what it is.
Even just like how they made Captain Marvel a woman. You on board with that? Nobody is complaining about that and stuff like that. Right. But you got to go for the bigger fish. Like, these are leads, big main characters that like it's right in your face, the representation and the importance of the representation. when you start talking about like that fairy godmother thing, like that's kind of you teetering on the line of playing with what you don't want to be clowned about. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they do that,
that's kind of weird.
If they do that wrong,
that's what makes it weird.
If they do that wrong, it has the potential to come off
disastrous.
I'm not saying coonish, but that's the first word that comes to mind. Like, if you get what I'm saying, not necessarily coonish in our sense,
no,
but,
I know
but you get what I'm saying.
I know
like,
exactly.
And
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's weird to me that that's the angle that they will go for more so than actually try to come for that lead.
I mean, I understand why they did it, and Disney as a company, and you know who their target audience is. I get that, and I respect that. But like I said, it has the ability to come off wrong.
Who's their target audience? I thought Disney was supposed to be for everybody.
I thought Disney was supposed to be for the kids.
But yeah, their target audience is children. Disney, now they got the Marvel stuff. The Marvel stuff is for everybody.
But when it comes to more so what I was saying.
Cinderella, that's not for me. I'm not watching no Cinderella. You know what I'm saying?
What message are you trying to send? Is my I don't have a problem with anybody being gay. If that's you, have fun.
The message that they're sending is, if you're a gay boy, you too can be a fairy godmother.
Okay, so send the message.
What's the importance of that message?
You still can be as important as Cinderella. Wasn't Cinderella like a princess or some shit like that?
That's what she became, man.
Yeah, so it's like you can. I like I said, go for the lead. If we're gonna do it like that, I don't have no issues with them flipping and bouncing it, but don't be tedious about it and like go for that bullshit, bro. Go for the real one.
Yeah.
If I'm a parent and my kid watches that and they come up to me and they ask me, okay, you know what? I'm not a parent, but you guys are. So I'm gonna ask both of you guys this question. Your children have watched Cinderella, they come to you, Daddy, why was the fairy godmother a man? What's your answer?
My answer would be because we have our own choices that we make, and that's the way that this person chooses to live their life and represent it. Whether I choose to live my life like that, I don't choose to live my life like that. But everybody's entitled to live their life the way they want to, man. I always say that, like, let each be his own son. Just don't try to force your shit on me, bro. Me or mine. That's all I say.
You don't think by them doing this in this casting call, it's kind of in a way forcing it upon you and yours?
Not really, because that's where I think that as far as the parenting aspect go, you do have to be mindful of what your children are watching and shit like that. And if you see something in what they're watching that you think a conversation needs to be had, even if the child doesn't spark the conversation, you spark that conversation.
I just don't feel like it's necessary. Like, why it's fucking Cinderella, bro. Let the kids watch fucking Cinderella. Now you have to have a whole conversation about gender preference and all of that shit after they watch Cinderella? Come on.
Well, are you mad that they're coming up with, I mean, to a degree, you might want to look at it like it's better the more learning opportunities that you come across in life. So if there's more examples to discuss, to like explain how you're supposed to live a certain way, so be it. If it got to come from
Cinderella, then it comes from that.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get it. I don't want to come off sounding ignorant. I don't want to come off sounding like I have an issue. That it's not the case. I know where you coming from. Like, you're coming from the aspect of, and it's the elephant in the room, man. It's the hidden agenda that the industry is pushing. And it's like, stop trying to do that. So I get what you're saying. It's like stop trying to force feed people certain things, and just there's other ways that you can go about making things, if you want to say, I don't even say like acceptable would be the word I would use. I would say more so is having people understand that you don't just kill this person because of this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, make it common knowledge.
Yeah, like you don't have to force feed us through the television screen and all of that to try to get that message across, because it could have a reverse effect.
That's what I'm saying. That could come off. It's not necessarily going to come off in a positive way if not done meticulously to a certain, you know what I'm saying, to a certain standard. If they drop the ball on that, it could be disastrous.
That's fuel for fire, like for the Proud Ones. That's what they call themselves, right? The Proud Ones. Like the new KKK, the Proud Boys.
The Proud Boys.
Yeah, that's fuel to the fire for them. Stuff like that.
I just don't think a movie that's geared toward children needs to spark that kind of a conversation. A 6-year-old is going to get confused.
Mm-hmm.
No, because like I said, you want to look at it from the perspective of you can start teaching the kid from the age of 6 that you don't discriminate against these type of people because they exist in the world, rather than waiting for them to become a teenager and then trying to have to get that point across to them when they already got their influence from their peoples.
When did you get the talk? When did your mom?
I never see, and that's the thing, because I didn't. My birth father, I didn't grow up with him.
Yeah.
So my thing with my stepfather, I respect the way he came from and everything like that, but I never really had conversations like that with him. And then it's uncomfortable to have conversations like that with your mother. So I had to go live and learn, observe, and just be out there like that.
Yeah.
G, did you ever get that conversation where your mom was like, okay, these are gay, like there's gay people out there and you have to learn to respect them and all of that?
No.
You never even got that?
No. That's like Smil said, you just was out there and you figured it out.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I'm saying, I don't like, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that I don't think that there's a such thing as an age that's too young to teach a child how to be a better person in the damn world that we're in.
Mm-hmm. But I get where you coming from, Generico. It feels like they're forcing you to have that conversation when you're not ready to have it.
Thank you.
I get that.
No, I get it. But you got to work with it, man. That's the era we live in. So what you got to do is, when you know the rules of the game, you play your hand accordingly, right?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And hey, listen, shout out to Billy Porter on this episode. You know what I mean? Like, good for you. And no hate, no animosity coming from me. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying this is a children's movie. If you wanted to do something like that with a adult movie,
let's keep sexuality out of it.
Keep sexuality out of a children's movie.
Yeah, let's keep sexuality out of it. That's the bigger discussion.
That's it. Yeah, it begins and ends right there. That's it.
I agree with that.
All right. Anyway, how do you guys feel about New Jersey opening up?
About what?
New Jersey opening up
for business, yeah.
Completely, everything, all rules is like back to normal.
Well, the CDC said that you still got to wear masks indoors, but if you are vaccinated, you do not have to wear your mask outside, but they are looking to open up to full capacity fairly soon.
Wow. So this means like venues too, like how Madison Square Garden is only at 10% capacity. If it's in New Jersey, you're telling me that like the whole building's gonna be open? Like, what's that building in Newark? What's that building?
The Prudential?
Yeah, so that's gonna be open for full capacity?
I think that every venue, it's on them how they want to do it.
Okay.
So if I'm Prudential Center and I'm like, nah, then it's not. On the flip side, if I'm Prudential Center, I'm like, well, you need to be vaccinated and you need to show proof of that, then that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they trying to get it back to the normal world, man.
They try and get this Memorial Day money. Summertime is on, is, you know what I'm saying, on the horizon. They try and get these beaches packed. They try and get this money. Yeah.
That was an epic sale last year.
There's too many grills sitting in front of Home Depot. Somebody got to buy them.
I mean, it's one of the things where, like, yeah, you want life to go back to normal, but vaccinated or nah, I'm not trying to. I don't need COVID to pull up nowhere near me. Like, I'm good, man. I don't
and the whole thing is, you still got to be careful, bro. Even though you got that shot, they still said, I think, what was it, 10 officers that got the shot, and then they still popped up with COVID.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people got to understand. It's not a vaccine like, all right, I get the measles vaccine. I never get it. Like I got it for
or chicken pox. Yeah, exactly.
This is one of them joints where the vaccine is its general purpose is to prevent you from ending up in the hospital and dying if you by chance get COVID-19. So it doesn't prevent you. Like if somebody comes and stands in my face with COVID and goes, I'm going to get it. But what this is supposed to do is to keep me from going to the hospital, to keep the symptoms down to a level that are, you know what I'm saying, not something that's going to put you in a dire situation. That's basically what it means. But it doesn't, and this is where people have it misconstrued. It doesn't mean, oh, I got the vax, now I could get loose out here. Like, nah. And that's the whole thing with all these places. And now Jersey's about to join the list. Like, people think, oh, I got the shot, now I'm gonna get loose. Like, yo, don't get yourself caught out here.
But let me ask you this. Why do you think the vaccine rate has been dropping in New Jersey as of late? Substantially.
I mean, for people that got it and for people that is still, this is still an area, and you know, it's still a densely populated area which is mostly populated by minorities who just don't trust that shit. And that's one of the biggest things when you really think about it. Like, was I 100% on board? I more so got the vaccine not for myself, but for the people around me, for my, you know, for my family. That's, did I necessarily go when it came out, yeah, I'm about to, like, nah, we talked about it in episode 1.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of the things where you either do it for you or do it to protect your loved ones. And but then there's still people out here that say, yo, you got conspiracy theorists that like, yo, the government to put this in it,
yeah,
and I'm gonna end up with, you know, whatever, they tracking me, you know. And then you got people that's just like, and rightfully so, especially the minority population, especially for those in the inner cities who just don't trust that shit.
Right.
And I can dig it.
I just found that very, very interesting that the vaccine rate just dropped like that. Yeah. And they want to get it to at least like 70. I think I forgot exactly what the stats were. And I had these stats up earlier. I'm bugging.
It's a thing where the people that wanted to get it and that were persuaded to get it, got it. And now those that are either on the fence or just disinterested in it altogether, they just ain't gonna get it.
Right.
So there's your steep decline. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's just one of them things where, like, you get where people is coming from. And until this really has shown, not even like forget the you know, forget the data sheets and all of that shit, until this has shown in the real world that its effectiveness or efficacy, whatever you want to call it, is to where this becomes a necessity or something that's truly genuine, changing the scope of, you know, this pandemic. People ain't gonna be beat for this shit. And until people really believe that it's
that's
not something that
the
government's trying to, you know, shove down your throat for, you know, this, that, or other reason. Like, it has to show its worth, basically. And I get that.
I don't know. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting on it. I'm not doing anything immediately that requires me to have the vaccine.
Yeah.
So I'm not checking for it just yet. But I'll wait and I'll see about that. But yeah,
I'm playing about it too. I'm not gonna say that I'm never gonna get it or whatever, but like you said, I'm not doing anything as far as put myself in those situations to where I can actually possibly get it. I try to stay to myself as much as possible right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And see, aside for those reasons of me getting it, it's also because of my line of work. I work with the public.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's different for you, yeah. All right, man. I mean, that's all I got. Anything else on the docket?
mean, if we want to slide back to some boxing news, did y'all see Wilder's latest training video?
Yeah, I saw it.
His footwork
look good.
I'm impressed, man.
A little bit of 1-2.
I'm impressed, man.
A little bit of 1-2.
The new trainer that he's got, he's doing him justice, yo. And I hope it stays that way, because he's now you look like something. You look like a contender now. Like, you look like you're definitely putting in work to expand yourself from, you know, being the right hand champ. So I'm hoping
we don't know who he would fight though. Like who was? It's so much. It's up in the air with him and Fury. Like I think they even was talking more so like that Ruiz and Ortiz might even happen. There's more of a chance of that
fight
happening.
Ruiz.
I mean,
I've been saying
and Ruiz just came off a win, so
I don't want to see him fight Ortiz again. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't need a third one of those, yo.
Ruiz beat Joshua, was the champion, and then lost. Deontay was the champion and then lost. Them two need to fight each other. Winner gets winner of Fury and in a perfect world. In a world that makes sense to me as a boxing fan.
Mm-hmm.
But you know they ain't gonna do that.
Somebody
Either that or who was the other dude that you was talking about, G, that had a good fight? Big man.
The dude that called out Wilder.
Dylan White.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dylan White. Yeah, I definitely. Wilder White is what should happen next, in my opinion. Like that other dude that was the champion that we was talking about last week. I watched some of his reel. He hit hard, but I don't know. Deontay is still a class above him, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? Even though because you're a champion, it doesn't mean that you're, you know, high class. You just happen to be a champion.
Right.
But Wilder White, man, that would be an explosive fight. They will both get a nice bag, and I would enjoy that. I want to see that. It's make that shit happen. And Joshua and Fury, Joshua and Fury. That's supposedly that's back on. They're working on renegotiating that. So hopefully we'll get that sooner.
For August, right?
Something like that they was talking about. But they're back to getting that together. So get that shit squared away. And yo, stop bullshit, man.
Nah, Eddie Hearn said, I was watching an interview with Eddie Hearn. He was like, he didn't want to necessarily drop that info during the Canelo fight because he didn't want to take away from Canelo and have it just be about, he knows everybody's waiting for the announcement and the date. He didn't want to do it on the Canelo fight, which I kind of do understand a little bit. But
drop the date. Like, drop the date, man. Like, fuck that. Drop the date. Like, I'm tired of waiting for that, yo.
Actually, you know what?
As of interesting.
Breaking news.
Breaking.
Do it.
Breaking news.
Do it.
Uh-oh.
We out in.
What we got going on?
This just in. According to ESPN, Tyson Fury says fight versus Anthony Joshua will take place August 14th in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, so they made it happen.
So they made the Saudi thing happen?
As of 1 hour ago on ESPN.
Yo,
Yo. Yes.
Press talk with the breaking news, everybody. You heard it here first, damn it.
On Trash Talk with GGS.
It's on Bleacher Report. Yeah, August 14th in Saudi Arabia is going down. The question is, whose house are we going to?
If it's on DAZN, I already got it.
All right,
so
then it's G's house. It's G's house.
Yeah,
he will be there.
And it has to be on DAZN because it's Anthony Joshua. Oh man, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, Sky Sports confirmed it. Yep, it's on.
Wow.
Finally, yo. Finally.
Nice. Well, that's
I need
great
that.
news.
That's Now who y'all picking, yo?
Fury.
I got Fury, man.
You know I got Fury. Fury is ill. Like,
Yeah, I've developed a respect for that man. For him to be able to fight and move how he does at the size that he is, yo. I gotta give it
I
to
respect how he can carry that weight. Like, he could box you with him weighing 220, or he could box you with him weighing 270.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm saying.
he's still moving the same way.
I don't know where he gets that
jittery
stamina from.
That
That's
weird
that-
ass
to do
jittery
all
shit.
of that, yo, the whole time to do this, that takes hella stamina, yo.
That head movement is crazy. He just going
He
on.
looks like, yo, he looks like if you were playing Quake back in the day for the old school Quake players. Tyson Fury looks like playing Quake on a bad dial-up connection. The lag. It's like, yo, I'm about to shoot the gun. Then he over, yo, what the gun is like.
That's
like,
what
it
it
feels
is.
like that, yo.
Tyson Fury got lag.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's why he wins.
You need mad bandwidth to fight Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury's internet connection is dial-up.
Yes. It be the ones with them trash connections that be doing you dirty.
Exactly. Come on now. So how many times have we been playing like you play like Street Fighter or you play like a shooting game and you'll go to fight somebody and they have an incredible record. I'm talking 100 wins and 1 loss, and you go to fight them and they
Mad
got
lag.
1 bar.
Yeah.
And they beat you because their connection is terrible.
Yeah.
That's Tyson
Yo,
Fury.
you know how I used to hate that playing ranked Marvel 3, son? And you go into a ranked match with Marvel 3, and like you said, it'd be like a second lord. And then you look at his record, you look at his team, I'm like, yo, your team's trash.
Nope.
But then the game starts, and you get ready, I get ready to get my Trish popping. And I jump up, and I do my joint, and I come back down, and my man is like, do, I do, all do, shh. I'm like, what the fuck? And then
That's
that's
why I'm
game.
not big with the online gaming, man. That lag shit always got on my nerves.
But you can't, yo, it's 2021 out here. There's gigabit connections, yo. You have no excuse. Gigabit connection is like $20 a month from somebody somewhere. You
It's
have no
different.
excuse.
It's different when you in an apartment though. When you're in an apartment building and that connection is split amongst all the different, like I got the line coming from the line into my room right here. Like direct, my shit better be fucking fast. But some people just, it's unfortunate, but they just
the
don't have it
apartment
like
tap.
that. But I've never had an issue playing any games with you, Smills. Like your shit is straight.
Yeah. I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, man, just, yo. That just reminded me of them times I used to be so mad. Yo, I almost broke a controller playing Marvel, yo. I threw my whole stick. I threw it on the floor. Yeah.
I broke
threw it on
one
the floor.
controller in my life out of anger, and that was while playing Cuphead.
Wow.
Yo, Cuphead to do it to you, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I did that one. I broke one
That shit
controller.
down, and I understand I'm never gonna beat that game.
It's really hard.
You gave up,
Right.
son? How far
No, I
you
gave
get?
up. I got to like, what is it, the second map or something like that? It was some other map, like I was getting kind of far, but those bosses be ridiculous, man.
Oh yeah.
Yo, I was stuck
They be
on what's the dragon name? Grimoire Matchstick, some shit like that.
Oh, with the 3 heads?
Yeah. I was stuck on that motherfucker, not for hours. I was stuck on that motherfucker for 3 days.
See? Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah.
It took me to beat that shit.
I mean, the
Because
game
the final
is
form where you got to
beautiful,
jump
all
and the
of that.
fireballs did this and they went the other way, and then 3 days it took me to beat that bullshit.
It's a beautiful looking game that, like, for nostalgia, side scroll purposes, it do what it's supposed to do, but it's just
It takes you
gotta
back
really-
to them, like them hardcore Super Mario days, yo.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back when you used to be nice speeding through levels and you know exactly where to jump and do this
Yeah.
and get that. Like
Yeah.
you have to play Cuphead like that.
Yeah.
And yo, it's cats out here that got 200 stars or coins or whatever. They done beat it in hard. They done got everything. I'm like, yo, salute to you, yo. Because yo, some of them bosses, that matchstick dude, the especially the bosses that you fight when you in the plane form, that robot. You remember that
Yeah.
one, yo?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna give you some crazy facts right now. If you go to speedrun.com, which is a documented website that the fastest runners in the world, the top speedrunner for Cuphead beat the game in 23 minutes and 16 seconds.
How can you beat a boss that fast? From start to finish?
From start to finish, yes. The entire game.
How do you even beat Dice Head that fast? You gotta fight like 6 bosses. Yo. that runs on YouTube? I gotta watch it, yo.
Probably. It's by SB. Shout out to SBD Wolf, who is the #1 ranked Cuphead speedrunner in the world. He did it on. They did it on PC, which tells me that I see what it is. Mouse and keyboard, a little bit easier to navigate.
Yeah.
Than having to do all that.
Again, why I always say that
Power to him, yo.
when you're using a computer, man, versus console, you're basically using a cheat code, man. I don't
Okay,
think
but hold up though, because
Not
there are
necessarily though.
so for
I
Xbox
feel
One,
that way.
Xbox One, the top speed runner is 41 minutes.
That's twice the amount of time.
Yeah,
Just about.
Yeah, that's a cheat code, man. That's that like PC is cheat code for shooting games and like that's just PC is a cheat. It's a cheat
But I
code.
don't like that's
yeah,
not
but
a
when
game.
everybody's on the same platform, when everybody's playing PC at the same time, like if it's just a bunch of people playing Overwatch and all of them are on mouse and keyboard, you can't say it's a cheat at that point. It's about who has the best skill.
Yeah, but what about when you're on that cross-platform shit, which is what a lot of the PC players do?
I don't.
I mean,
agree,
certain
I don't
games are
agree with
cross-platform.
cross-platform
I don't know.
FPS games. That's not.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
don't
fair.
know I know cross console. But PC. I don't know no games that are out now on PC that you can play on console at the same time. Because
They have
that's
to
an unfair
because
advantage.
PC,
Nah, they
because
do.
Microsoft, because of the Microsoft deal, they have to have that now. Where you
Well,
like,
I won't be
there's a
playing
lot
those
of there's a lot of cross gaming with PC and Xbox.
Yeah. Among Us is cross-platform, which is true. I was playing Among Us on my PC and playing with people who were on their phones. Apex Legends.
Yeah, see,
Apex. Now see, that's
But you
whack.
can filter it though, son. You can. There's a setting to where it's like, okay, I want to do this with everybody, or you can make it people on just your console.
Yeah.
So
that's
See, if you
usually
had,
what
yeah,
I
if you
do.
had that, then that's good because Apex is that's an FPS. That's
Dead by Daylight is another one. Fortnite is another one. MLB The
Fortnite,
Show.
Yeah, the show was like that.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah,
World War Z. So
yeah, they just opened
Yeah.
that up.
I could
So
play
They just
play
World War Z
PC,
with you guys?
Huh?
You play World War Z on PC? Play against PC?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh shit!
Let me see if that shit is World War Z available on Game Pass. Nah, I think it's just you would have to buy it on Steam. But that's dope though. I like that.
That's not bad. But
That's
shout
dope.
out to them speedrunners, man. That got that kind of time and patience.
For real.
Like that means you just got to know. You have to know the game's programming. Like yo, whoever
Yeah,
that
that's
dude
what I was
was
gonna say. How-
that beat
how
that
long
game
you
in
think it
23
took?
minutes. That dude's in the Matrix, yo. He knows
How long you
exactly
think it took
what's
for
gonna
him to be able to learn how to do that?
Years.
Like he had to play that game
happen.
for
Had to be
Years.
years. Yeah.
Years and
Because
years.
certain
and
levels, you just have to know where things go. Like the joint where you're jumping up, the honeybee joint, and
I
like the
hate
dudes
that.
are running
That's
that.
what I broke my controller on.
Yeah, that stage was crazy. Like if you
I
have to
think
know
that's the
like what
stage
people's
that I'm
coming out.
on.
When
Like,
she
you're going
becomes
up-
the airplane and just
Oh.
starts coming down, I died so many times. I took my controller and was like, "Fuck you!"
hmm
And then my shit broke, and I was like, "Fuck! I need that."
Only game that made me break a controller, even though I still play it to death, was fucking Overwatch. Because I just got mad because I was just constantly losing games because I had trash players on my team, ranked games.
That's how it been.
I just tossed my shit.
I will be one of them trash ass players on your team. And I've heard you sneak this before.
Oh yeah.
We was playing Overwatch together years ago, and I was just sucking or whatever. And here go G on the chat. These motherfuckers out here with no kills and shit, man. I'm like, oh,
Get your game up, son. Get your
Yeah.
game up.
if you got something to say, then say it to me. You know what I mean?
Lil D, your diva that came out here all trash. Yo, where that work at?
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm terrible at that game. All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap it up, man. This was an amazing episode, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Very, very good episode. So we will be back next week, same time, same place,
Yes.
for more Trash Talk with GGS shenanigans. So thank you, everyone, for all the support and all the love that we got on the new intro video. It's getting a really, really good feedback. So thank you for that. And any last words? Too.
Yeah, man, everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Watch your back, watch your front, watch both of your sides. Do your best, progress, get rest, no stress, all that.
Smills?
Go get those Knicks tickets, baby.
There it is.
Go get those Knicks tickets in the Garden. Support that team, man. Back to the playoffs.
There it is. All right, everybody. Stay safe, stay happy, all the great stuff. We will see you next week. Have a great week, everyone.
Peace. Thanks for listening to Trash Talk with GGS. See y'all next week.